Hello friends, welcome to my video on IoT where I talk about IoT and embedded system. And today I am going to talk about IoT Edge 1.3. IoT Edge 1.3 is recently released, and the documentation is also updated just 2 days ago, like 10th of July. Today is 12th of July. So let's have a look at the changes which is done in this recent release and what are the new things which is made available in this. So as you can see, this is released like 2 days ago, and now you can see from this documentation, the 1.2 is removed and it is replaced with 1.3, and only 1.1 LTS is still there. IoT Edge is a product. So first of all, let's see what are the major highlights of this release. The major highlights of this release is that it support direct inbuilt support is available for Red Hat Enterprise RHEL 8 on AMD and Intel 64-bit architectures. So whatever latest things are going on in this field, particularly the servers which we install, particularly on the 64-bit architectures and AMD, such as like ARM based architectures such as Raspberry Pi, etc. On that, this 1.3 can be directly installed and can be supported. Edge Hub now enforces that inbound onboard communication uses minimum 1.2 TLS by default. Previously, if you wanted this TLS 1.2 to be there, then you needed to manually configure it in your Edge Hub setup. But now with this release, it is there by default. So you don't need to manually configure your edge to use TLS 1.2. It has updated runtime modules, Edge Agent, and Ace Hub, which is based on .NET 6. These are the highlights for this release. Let's see the more uh, details of this release. So this is our official page, GitHub page of this um, 1.3. Let's see um, what other details are available for this. So this is all EF flow. Um, let's see. Yeah, we can see the details of this project from here. Yes. So 1.3.0, it's what's new. You have already seen some highlights. You can see some other things like ability to configure device identity, EST identity, and HCS certificate auto renewal before expiration using config.toml. We can set it auto renewal things which was not there in 1.2. Added a check for IoT Edge config apply to detect hostname changes to prevent mismatch between configuration. So anytime we used to make changes in IoT Edge configuration, and we after the making changes we used to do config apply, and then it used to apply whatever configuration are there. But I believe it was not there, because till now I didn't face any problem in config apply, but it is telling that the new check is there which checks the host name. In config file at the beginning only the host name is basically mentioned. So if this check is there, I believe like it will result in more stable or more proper configurations being applied. Edge Hub server certificate also are there to detect the changes and etc. Updated to Rust based component, and believe it's internal of uh, of the configurations and all, and various bug fixes are there. Uh, the it requires 1.2 by default as we seen. Major thing is also there, like MQTT broker preview is removed. Till now MQTT broker used to come with 1.2, but now it is that was in preview mode. It was with Azure Edge Hub 1.2 which has ended, and it is not included in Edge Hub 1.3. um, we are continued. So if you need to still use MQTT broker on the IoT edge, then you need to deploy it as a container, as a module on your edge. So that may, in that way it can work. I'm sure like this should be implemented, could be implemented later, but for now they have removed it. Certificate renewal feature, it's one kind of major thing which I see it is very much important to implement this, because if certificate renewal is not there by default, then we needed to manually do that. And if it is there, then I believe it will bring much benefit to the developers, to the configurations what we used to do on the edge. A snippet is also given, like it you can see the certificate auto renewal happens when an 80% of its lifetime is reached, and retry at increment of 4% of lifetime, and rotate the private key is also enabled. So in order to enable certificate renewal, changes were made to consolidate and improve IoT certificate server management. Right, all modules restart when edge CA certificate is renewed, um, etc. Auto renew is there. Device identity certificate no longer renews when provisioning after certificate expiry. And you can see OS support is as Red Hat Linux 8 and Intel 64-bit architectures. Retirement compatibility strips, some issues are still there. Debian 10 Buster on ARM v7, Demon. These are the standard, I believe, kind of commands were there, in which we can reload the daemon and restart the Docker. So I believe this was the brief overview of IoT Edge 1.3. I wanted to show the demo, but currently my VM is down. But now one thing I would like to mention here is that uh, for now, if you are going to use the default command to install the IoT Edge, then now only 1.3.0 will come by default. uh, 1.2 will not be there. One more thing was there with this update is that this Microsoft Defender, however, it was introduced in 1.2 only, but I found that with 1.3 this comes by default. So this Microsoft Defender for IoT, it's also there by comes by default, security posture management. So hope you got a very good brief understanding of IoT Edge, and I will see you in the next video.